he was there and said, well, we'll join up and go together. But when we went to join up, he said, well, you can't, we gotta pick somebody out, you know, so when we went and, the three of us went to the Navy and took that exam, and then three of us went to the Army Air Force and took that exam. And what happened was Steincross got called for the Army, and we didn't. And Mull and I got called for the Navy.
Oh.
See? But I was called before Mull. See, so Decker. This guy here.
Name was Decker?
Yeah. He was my gunner.
Mm-hmm. Was he still alive when you left the war?
Oh yeah, sure. All these guys were alive.
Wonder where they are now. Wouldn't you like to see him?
Well, the only one.
Here we go. Well, you know, I'm not going to know how many times we're going to be able to talk to you and have you tell these beautiful stories about the service.
Should have asked me that about 50 years ago.
Well, maybe these will, if you look at your yearbook, it'll help you think of some ideas. You can put it like right here if you want.
These are all different.
These are all the guys that were on the boat with you, right?
Yeah, but these are guys who were in the fighter squadron and the bomb squadron. I was in the torpedo squadron.
And what kind of planes did you fly?
I flew TBFs and TBMs.
Mm-hmm.
I'll show you in a minute.
What was that story about when you were out there when the Yamato was getting bombed, right? When you guys were dropping torpedoes on the...
Yeah.
What was that like?
Well, I didn't hit it, but...
You couldn't land on... In the Intrepid, it was hit, wasn't it?
No, the Intrepid was all right.
Bunker Hill?
Oh, the Bunker Hill, no. We were... See, these are all pictures of guys that we were with, but they were in a different squadron. They were in the bomber squadron, see?
Uh-huh. Is that what it looked like?
That was a TBM, yeah, right there.
What page is that? That's 107. That's a TBM flying over the water.
Yeah, right here.
Uh-huh. Is this your squadron?
That was...
Your symbol?
That was just a symbol that they had. Yeah.
But was that for you guys?
Yeah. And then, see, this here is the air group right here. I mean, all the guys were in the squadron, you know.
Uh-huh. What was your rank?
What?
What was your rank in there?
And this one here, I was just Lieutenant J.G.
Uh-huh.
When I started out, I was an ensign.
Mm-hmm.
And when I ended up, I was a full lieutenant. But when I was in combat, I was a J.G.
What was it like being up there in the plane when you were getting shot at and stuff? And
Here's that Collmore. He was with me, and he come from around Saugus,
mm-hmm.
you know. I saw him after the war, you know, but I haven't seen him since. And all these other guys here,
Who knows?
I don't know where the hell they are.
There. What page is that on? 115?
I don't know.
Yeah, 115. You're in the middle on the left.
Mm.
What do you think of when you look at that picture and you look in your own eyes back when you're younger?
Yeah.
Picture? What do you think of?
I wish I was that age now.
How old were you in that picture?
20, something like that.
Jesus Christ, you were just a kid. What was it like flying up in the plane? Tell me one of the stories that when you were up in the plane.
What do you mean, stories?
I don't know. Didn't you get shot down once?
No. I get, I didn't get shot. The plane got shot down, but I didn't get hurt. I mean, I landed in the water and
Right.
it was safe.
You were in the plane that got shot down.
Yeah.
What was
But the
that like?
plane,
What was that like? Weren't you on the beach, the rocks and the?
yeah, it was right behind some rocks.
What was that story? What happened? You and you guys swam ashore?
Well, no, we stayed out in the rocks was offshore.
Yeah.
And the Japanese crew saw the plane come down, you know, so they went walking along the beach looking for us.
Put this under your arm.
They went underneath, they went along the beach looking for us, but we were out by the rocks, and they didn't see us, you know, they kept right on going. But I had a 45 automatic white pistol, and the damn thing got all jammed up in the sand, you know, from
Being in the water.
being in the water and in the sand, you know.
Yep.
That way, when I got back to the ship, we got picked up by a PBY later on. They saw us.
That's a boat, right?
No, PBY is a plane like Mullen flew PBYs.
There's a water lands in the water, right?
Yeah,
And they came pick you up and then
they
took you up.
picked us up, yeah. And when I got back to the ship, the first thing I did was change that 45 for a 38. And I had a 38 pistol. And you could drop it in the sand and it wouldn't jam up, you know. Then your mother pulled it on me one day out here, so I gave it to the police.
Didn't you fly a general? Wasn't there something about a general that you were supposed to pick up and you?
Oh, yeah, we were supposed to pick up, what the hell was his name now? I forget. But we went up into Peking in China.
That's over enemy lines.
He was down in Shanghai.
Was he a prisoner of war?
Yeah, he was a prisoner of war, yeah. He got picked up in the Philippines and they brought him up to Japan, in China.
Would they beat him up and stuff?
No, but we were supposed to pick him up, but we couldn't find him, so we couldn't pick him up. But I spent, I was in Peking and China, Shanghai, China, but then I was in Japan.
You flew? Didn't you fly in there right after the bomb went off?
Yeah.
What was that all about? Tell me that story.
Well, we flew in with.
So what happened? You went to Japan?
Yeah, we went into Japan, and we.
What was it like when you flew in?
We didn't. We were not to. We weren't supposed to bomb the palace. You know.
Yeah.
But we hit other parts of.
So after the bomb went off, you guys went in
Yeah. Well, we did it before the bomb went off too.
before and after.
Yeah.
You were knocking the shit out of them after what they did to you in Hawaii, right?
Yeah.
What was it like? Did you fly over where the atomic bomb went off?
Yeah, I flew over it, but I didn't, wasn't there when it went off.
No, I know, but what was it like when you went over? What were you thinking of?
That I wouldn't want to be anywhere near it, because it was pretty level, but it wasn't,
You see any people walking around underneath there?
not many. I didn't notice any. They were all hidden or hiding or dead, either one.
What were you feeling like being a part of the military that did that kind of damage? Did it bother you?
Well, it did in a way. I didn't particularly care for Brahmin people. And it's I don't know, it's a hell of a feeling. And when you flying and you say, Jesus, here I am, going after this guy, going after that guy, going after this here. And then when you see the damage that the bombs did to what you were going after, you'd say, Jesus Christ, what a mess. And I just didn't like it, that's all. But I did it. I did it.
Did you ever have like nightmares and stuff after the war?
Yeah, in a lot of times, yes.
Uh-huh.
You know, thinking of saying, Jesus Christ, why did I kill that guy? Why did I kill this guy? And lucky they didn't kill me.
Uh-huh.
That's all.
What about when you flew over the battlefields? Did you ever see the guys underneath you?
Oh, yeah, sure.
What were you thinking? What battles did you fly in?
Guam, Saipan, Tinian, the Philippines, and then Tokyo itself, and then South Korea. I was one of the first guys to land in South Korea.
Whoa.
In Kijo Airfield, but we didn't stay there. We just went in, you know.
What was it like flying over the battlefields when you saw the troops down on the, like, did you ever go when they were making a beach landing?
Yeah. Yeah.
So like, you saw the guys
Guys running in and
getting shot down?
yeah.
What did that make you feel like?
It just made you feel like you wanted to get more of them bastards. I mean, the other, get the Japs in. What we did, but we didn't strafe so much. All the strafing was done mostly by fighter planes.
What's that?
And
Strafer?
strafing is found wing guns, you know.
Yeah.
Well, we fired them, but we didn't fire them like they did. But what we did, we went after, you know, headquarters and trucks and tanks and stuff like that, you know. We try to hit them, but that's all.
Did you ever you dropped torpedoes onto tanks?
No, you just drop bombs on them.
Well, you did bomb drops too, not just
Yeah.
torpedoes.
Oh, yeah, sure.
Jesus Christ, and they were shooting at you too, right?
Yeah,
You
of
ever
course
get-
they were.
What? Tell me a story about when they shot at you.
It just scared the shit out of you, that's all. And I was just damn lucky that I never got hurt. I mean, never got hit. And that's it.
Wow. What about what was one of the most wild times you had out there when you were in a battle?
What do you mean wild times?
Like, you know, the most like intense. The most intense time when you were in a battle. What was your most intense battle?
One of them was in Okinawa. We started pulling in there, and there was nothing, and all of a sudden, Jesus, the whole sky lit up, you know. But
They hit you with the anti-air.
and then they had a bunch of planes there that jumped us too, you know. But I was lucky I didn't get hurt.
Did you have guys in your own group that got shot down?
What?
Did you ever see any of your own guys getting shot down?
Yeah, but we were lucky. Most of them were saved. Of course, there was a lot of them that went, but most of them were saved.
What'd you feel like when you got back onto the flight deck? Did you often try and find out who came back?
Always. That was the first thing you did. Well, you get on the deck, and then you'd get ready. You just get off the plane and go down into your ready room, you know, where you stayed most of the time. We were aboard the ship. Actually, it was a... I got pictures of it, but I don't know where the hell they are now. They're in someplace.
Uh-huh.
But
What was it like when you heard about the people that didn't make it back?
you just...
You guys weren't really getting sad or anything. You just kind of felt
You
a
got
little-
sad about it, but nothing you could do about it.
kind of must make you feel a little numb then when you.
Yeah, I feel lousy. And I just feel lousy talking about it.
Uh-huh. Well,
So,
it's nice to hear because I like to know what you did in the war. Well, you had a bunch of victories. What were some of the fun things?
talk about it even.
Uh-huh.
Uh,
Well, it's good to talk about it a little bit and share your feelings and thoughts about things like that. You know?
yeah.
Which I don't think your generation did a lot of, but
What?
your generation never talked about that kind of stuff.
No.
What about when you came back and when you were down at when you came in after the war? You were in San Francisco, right?
Yeah.
What was that like when you came ashore?
Oh, good. We liked it.
And then you came back to Massachusetts. Didn't you take a couple planes back with you or something? What was the Golden Gate Bridge? What didn't you guys fly?
I flew underneath the Golden Gate Bridge.
What was that? Tell me about that.
Uh,
You and some other guy, right?
yeah. Well, there's a couple of guys that were in the squadron with me.
And you were on the carrier, and you just
No, we weren't on the carrier then.
No.
We were at, oh, Christ, I can't think of the name of the base now. But it's right outside of Frisco.
Mhm.
Yeah, it was in Oakland, you know, which is on the other side. There's a bridge from Frisco to Oakland. And that's where the Navy, I'm trying to think of the goddamn name of the plane.
That doesn't matter. You guys hopped
Right.
in two planes, and then what'd you do?
Oh, we flew out, you know, just around. And then we decided to fly under the bridge, which we did.
Didn't somebody go through the cables?
What?
Didn't somebody go through sideways on the cable?
No, not to my knowledge. There's probably somebody did, but not me.
You weren't allowed to do that, though. Did you get in
No,
trouble?
you weren't allowed to go down the end of the bridge either.
What about when you first came back to your hometown? What was that, in Arlington?
Yeah.
You didn't you buzz the neighborhood?
What?
Didn't you buzz the neighborhood?
Oh, that was weird. It was when I was with Torpedo 82. We were operating out of New Bedford. We flew into New Bedford, and then a couple of us took, flight. You know, I took a flight up to Arlington. You know, I flew from.
Plane, you mean?
Yeah, and I buzzed right down the.
Clotheslines.
Yeah, it's blew clotheslines down.
In your mother's house, right?
Yeah. And the neighbors. But
What'd you do? Hit them with your wheels?
no, the propeller. Not the
wind.
The wind.
You buzzed the houses, basically.
Yeah, you had a wind straight. You know, where you were going, Chris, you were blowing and
Blowing all kinds of stuff.
yeah.
Wow.
But that was done from the propellers. You know, the wind.
But you must have been pretty damn close to it.
Oh yeah. But
And did Nana Duffy, was she looking out the window at you?
no, she didn't know who it was until I come home and told her.
Were the neighbors all mad at you for getting their laundry dirty?
No.
It was you probably, huh?
Some of them did and some of them didn't.
Could have gotten in a lot of trouble. And then you came back to the Cape after the war, right?
Yeah, that's when we came back. Well, my father had a cottage here. You know, we
Down road.
Yeah. And I came down here to stay here. I got so I liked it better here than I up in the city, so I stayed here. And I stayed in his cottage. Me and Jack Poole. You know Jack Poole?
Yeah.
And
That's the house
then
the corner of Bay Road.
no, the first one was the one right on the beach.
Oh, right, the one that.
Yeah.
Right.
Then they built that one that's on the Bay Road, the first one, you know. And
And then what did you do? What were you doing for work when you first got here?
first I got here, was working, doing carpenter work with Sumner Reddy, you know. And then he took over the airport up there in near Northeastham, and I ran it for him because he didn't have he only had a private license, like, you know, and I had the commercial license.
Oh.
See?
What did you do at the Eastham Airport? Took
Well, I
sightseeing
just
tours
took-
and people that had money that had their own
Yeah,
planes?
no, well, we took them flying. We used to take, like, people on a trip up to Hyannis or go to out around Billingsgate Island and up to Provincetown and back again.
Did you own a plane back then?
No, I didn't own a plane.
Who
It
owned
was,
the planes?
Eddie.
Oh, he did.
Yeah.
So he must have had some money, huh?
Oh yeah. Well, he was a contractor. He had a lot of money. Well, he didn't have.
Enough to own a few planes, huh?
Yeah. But in them days, you could buy a plane pretty reasonable.
What was that?
Not today.
What was that story when there was a plane that had landed and you got the tree limbs in the wheel? They said that no one could fly it out of the. No one could fly that particular plane out of the particular airport, and you clipped the pine trees on it. What was that?
Oh, that was. See, I used to fly out of Squantum on weekends, you know, as a reserve pilot, you know, in the Navy Reserve. When I was working out of here at the airport, I used to fly a private plane up to Squantum. Then, while I was up there for the weekend, be flying TBMs, you know, and TBFs. So one day I says, hell, I'm going to bring one down to Eastham. So I took one and I flew it down to Eastham.
Military plane.
Yeah, a TBF. And I landed it, and everybody was looking at it, you know, thinking a big deal about it, you know. When I started to take it off, the wind died down a little bit, you know.
Because you really couldn't you couldn't really technically land and take off that plane at that short runway, right?
Yeah, it couldn't have with the wind blowing good, but not when it's not blowing. So anyways, what happened was, I started at the very end of the strip, this end, got halfway down the strip, and I lifted it off just enough so I could, you know, get flying. And I started to flip the wheels, and I hit the pine trees at the end of the runway, and it folded up into the wheel wells,
Yeah.
you know, little limbs, you know, folded up with the wheels.
Right.
When I got to Squantum, the plane captain, which ended up down here, I'll tell you who he is, Ted Turner, you know him?
Right.
Well, he was the plane captain.
Right.
So, what he says, hey, what happened? What's all these pine needles in here? I says, quiet, forget about it. Just sweep them out and forget it. Then, a year or so later, I'm down at some bar down here. I don't know where the hell it was. It was a lobster pool or somewhere. And who the hell walks in but him? And he says, oh, you're the guy that took all the pine needles off.
With your landing gear.
Yeah. That day was a long time ago. That was, what, 47? Oh, 40, 47, 48, 49, in that area, you know.
Did you ever get any medals in the war?
Yeah, not much. I got an air medal and I got a flying cross. What the hell is it? But I didn't get any medals, any big medals, you know. But I just say thank God I was alive.
Yeah. Well, you've had a pretty exciting life.
For a while it was. Now it's nothing.
Yeah, well, you've taken some time and rested.
Yeah.
Well, I'm super proud of you, George. You've done a good job, made me proud of you.
I'm glad somebody's proud of me.
Well, a lot of people are proud of you. You got a big name in this town.
I used to be in the fire department and the scouts.
Yep. Did a lot of good stuff. You were like a Boy Scout leader, right?
I was the first scoutmaster in Eastham. I was scoutmaster in Orleans for a year or so. And then we had so many guys from Eastham in the Orleans troop, we decided to make another troop. So I took them down there over the troop in Eastham, and I forget now who the hell took over the Eastham with the Orleans one. But
Yeah, because Clifford's the scoutmaster, for the Eastham troop now.
yeah, well, I was the scoutmaster then.
Isn't that funny?
Yeah.
Wow. Well, what would you say about your kids if someone were to ask you about your kids?
What?
About your children? What your thoughts are of your children?
What, like you?
Kathy and Tricia.
Yeah, I just there. See those? There's a picture of the 25th anniversary, and there's the one of the 50th anniversary.
Of the three of
And
us.
I says, of all the three of them, I got very lucky that they all turned out good and didn't give me any trouble as far as ended up in jail.
Yeah, but your son winds up going to jail more than anybody else in the world.
Yeah, I know it.
What do you think about me going into jails?
I think it's a great idea. I mean, a good idea to do it. I mean, to help people, you know.
Yeah.
But the only thing is, I don't like you going all over the goddamn world, you know, by yourself.
Well, I usually have people with me. But I think that the same bravery you had during the war is this kind of bravery that I feel when I go into the prisons. Well, I'm definitely very proud of you, Dad, what you did in your years. And I think it's must be frustrating growing old, but that's what happens.
It is.
It's going to happen to all of us. Everybody grows old.
Tell me about it. Both my mother and father both died at 69. Here I am, 77.
Still kicking.
Yeah,
Yeah, you're doing okay.
yeah.
With your breathing being a little bad, it's one thing, but
Oh, sometimes I wonder whether I'm going to be able to get up or not. You should have been here when I sprained this. I was in this chair, but the chair was over there, you know, because we always had the Christmas tree here, you know. And I got up and this disc got tangled someplace. I don't know where the hell it was, but it ended up getting tangled up in the bottom of this thing and over there. And I hit my head on the end of that table there. And then this was so sore I couldn't get up on it. So I turned on my belly and I crawled on my hands and knees over the chair. And I finally got up on it, you know, up onto the chair. And then stuck it up like that.
Jesus.
But there was nobody here, and I just, oh, Jesus, I was in agony. And finally, your mother came home, and that was it. And what we did was we bandaged it up, and she called the nurse, and the nurse came down and washed it down and put a bandage on it, you know.
Keep the swelling down.
It's still swelled up. It's swelled up like that. But now it's all gone down, you know. You wouldn't even know it was there now. But I'd rather have a broken leg than a breathing problem.
Uh-huh.
Because now I can't drive a car. I can't do nothing, you know.
What would you say to somebody that needed to have some courage? What kind of words of advice would you say?
What?
After you've been in the service and done all this different fighting and stuff, what would you say to people as far as a way to get courage? Like, what did you do for yourself to make you help have courage back in the old days?
Yeah, just says I got to do it. That's it. And a lot of times you think about it and you say to myself, how the hell did I ever do that? And then you look back and you say, Jesus, I should have stayed home.
What, instead of going to the war?
Yeah. But when we went, we thought that was the greatest thing in the world to go in the service and fry. And I'll never forget it as long as I live.
Mm-hmm. Well, hopefully you don't have a short-term memory, because we need you around for a few more years, George.
Jesus, I don't think it's going to last much longer.
Yeah, you don't think it'll be much longer?
You know, every morning I wake up, I say, this is it.
Are you afraid of it? Moving on?
Not afraid, but I'm very afraid about being alone.
Mm-hmm.
Like having somebody around like you, you know, like today we went to the thing. It was beautiful, but when there's nobody here, I can't go nowhere. I can't drive. I haven't got any car to drive anyways.
Well, Kathy would come and take you, I think, and Albert would come take you down to the Elks Club, but usually when people ask you to go out, you don't want to go anywhere.
Well, a lot of times I couldn't go because I couldn't feel good enough to
You're
go.
breathing.
Yeah,
You just want someone to come over and hang out with you?
yeah. I just to
Shoot the shit. Right?
shoot the shit with them, you know. But most of the guys that I used to really be involved with are gone.
Yep.
And
Well, I'm rooting for you, George.
yeah, I know it. I wish the hell you'd be here instead of out there.
Well, I'll be here a lot this summer. Definitely. But, yeah, I don't like being away either.
Where the hell's that thing?
What, the clicker?
Yeah,
It's right here.
this ain't the show I want to watch. Where the hell is it?
Oh, here it is. There you go. All right, well, I'm going to take this microphone off you. And anyways, I love you, George.
Okay. Yes. What do you mean? You get it all taped on there too?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Oh, for crying out loud.
We got living history here. This is Duffy history.
Yeah.
Go ahead, say some last words, George, of encouragement.
What?
Say some words of encouragement for me when I'm on the road.
Oh, God bless you. Save. Keep your mind on the road and don't get involved with so many other things.
Keep your mind on the present moment, you mean?
Yeah.
In the here and the now on the road. Beautiful. probably maybe like the second week in May, I think it is. Be back, and then I'll be back almost all of August, for 3 to 4 weeks.
Yeah.
So I'll make sure that Kath or somebody comes over and sits with you for a while. Who would you like to come and hang out with you? Joe Eagles more?
Yeah, he comes up here quite often, but he's down in Florida now.
Oh, when's he get back?
I don't know, a couple of weeks. He's only going down there for a couple of weeks. But Joe Eagle, Albert, Freddie Cochran, who the hell was it? And then a couple of my old girlfriends used to come in. You know, like Dottie Stifel.
Dottie's still alive, right?
Oh, yeah. And Jenny Sannings. And, you know, people come to see you, but
Maybe we should have a little party with them all. Have them over when I come back. Have a
we'll
little
see what
cookout.
happens. You'll see what happens.
All right. Well, keep your chin up, George.
Yeah,
Take a few more baths and
yeah.
do something with you to keep your mind busy, you know?
Yeah. Trying to breathe.
Well, just the television isn't going to help you too much.
You better get going there. You'll never get
Yeah, I'm
everything
going to go pack.
Leave that there.
You shouldn't be taking those, George. Those aren't good for you. Make sure you drink a lot of water too. I'm gonna leave those sea drinks up here for you.
Yeah, okay.
I'll yell into you in the morning.
Yeah, okay.